Okay, I know I might get a lot of shit for making this video, but a lot of people seriously downplay Medica, and I want to help inform people on just how broken Medica is. Before you dislike the video and start screaming at me in the comments,
Oh, Crimson, what the hell are you talking about? MUI Goku stops with 0 difficulty. It's not even a challenge. What are you, stupid?
please, I urge you to go watch my first 2 Medica box videos so you can get a better understanding of just how broken Medica is, and I ask that you please keep an open mind throughout this video. With all that squared away, let's get on with the actual video. Okay, first off, before I get too deep into anything, Medica's punches, even with all of her strength, won't do anything to MUI Goku, even if she manages to hit him, which would be a titanic undertaking, if even possible.
Well, Crimson, then Goku wins with 0 difficulty. Medica can't hurt Goku, and Goku can stop her as much as he wants.
Well, yes and no. It's true that Medica can't hurt MUI Goku, but at the same time, MUI Goku doesn't have anything in his arsenal that can kill Medica. At least permanently, that is. What I'm talking about is that Medica Box isn't a power versus power series like Dragon Ball is. It's more of a hacks versus hacks or skill versus skill series. In the series of Medica Box, Medica has the most broken ability in her verse and a metric fuckton of other extremely broken abilities. The one ability I'm talking about specifically in this particular instance is a little ability called All Fiction. Unless you have a direct counter to it, or you're like outer-versal or some shit and you're above the concept of causality itself, there isn't really any way to deal with All Fiction. A user of All Fiction is essentially immortal. Death loses all its meaning, for the user of All Fiction can just resurrect themselves infinitely. Kumagawa died like 4 times in the series and he always comes back better than new. So even though Goku is capable of killing Medica easily, there's nothing that he can do to keep her dead. Medica will keep coming back until she wins. Now I'm going to go over this real fast since I know that someone out there might bring this up, and that is Hakai. First of all, Goku is only capable of using Hakai in the manga, and not the anime. But even if we were to wank Goku and say he's capable of using the Hakai if he really wanted to, it still wouldn't keep Medica down. Kumagawa is capable of activating All Fiction before he dies and have it on a sort of delay so that it can activate after his death and revive him. This means that even soul destruction wouldn't prevent Medica from reviving with All Fiction. So even if Goku could use the Hakai, it wouldn't do anything, and in fact it would actually be detrimental to him, which I'll get into later. So yes, Goku can't do anything to permanently kill Medica because of All Fiction, but that's not the limit to what All Fiction is capable of. For those who don't know already, All Fiction allows the user to freely manipulate causality and, as Kumagawa put it, make reality nothing. Essentially, it can undo anything, even concepts or ideas. Not only could Medica erase her own death, but she could also erase any wounds she may get. If she were to run low on stamina, she could also make her stamina loss nothing and be back at full stamina. The time it takes for one of her attacks or abilities to activate could be erased, allowing her to be able to do these things instantly. The time it takes her to move from place to place could also theoretically be erased, giving her the ability to have instantaneous travel and combat speed. You may be thinking that I'm ranking All Fiction too much, but I'm not. In fact, I'm more so downplaying All Fiction. All Fiction is one of, if not the most broken ability in fiction I've ever seen. The drawback of All Fiction that was stated in the series is that what was erased can never be gotten back, and if you're not careful, the entire universe could be erased. However, that second point was referring to Kumagawa in particular, since his mindset made that an actual threat, and Medica would have a better mastery of All Fiction than him. All Fiction could do way more than the few examples I gave. I'm actually downplaying it to show how broken it is. The only thing that All Fiction is stated in the series to never be able to erase is, quote, another minus. That means that technically, as long as it's not a minus, Medica would be able to erase it with All Fiction. However, I'm steel manning that argument in favor of Goku, and just saying that Medica can't erase any of his abilities. Medica could, however, theoretically erase the time/events that occurred during the Tournament of Power that allowed Goku to get Ultra Instinct in the first place. But for this video, I'm not going to use that argument because I don't even need to. So I think by now we all get that there isn't anything that Goku can do to keep Medica down, and this is really bad for him. I don't know if you know this, but Goku's time using Mastered Ultra Instinct was in the last 2 minutes or so of the tournament. This means that while Medica essentially has infinite stamina and can't die, MUI Goku only has about 2 minutes of stamina. That's a massive oomph for Goku, especially since he doesn't just lose MUI after the time is up. No, due to the sheer limit-breaking power that Mastered Ultra Instinct delivers, it pretty much broke him from the inside out. When Goku ran out of MUI, he was literally crippled for a good few seconds and was completely unable to move or defend himself in any way.
Wait, Crimson, are you seriously about to say that Medica can kill someone as strong as Goku in a few seconds?
Yes, I am. When Mastered Ultra Instinct wears off and Goku is crippled, that few seconds that Goku is crippled and defenseless is more than enough for Medica to claim a victory. In that state, when Goku is out of stamina and defenseless, he would be put in a severely weakened state and would be unable to use his ki to defend himself. That means that Medica would be able to hurt Goku with her attacks. But her attacks aren't what I'm saying will give her the victory here. Since Medica can now hit and hurt Goku, she is finally capable of hitting him with a real game changer, that being Bookmaker. Bookmaker allows the user to make the opponent just as weak as the user. In Kumagawa's case, it also fills the opponent with overwhelming despair, sorrow, etc. But I won't be using that part since it's implied to be more so specific to Kumagawa's use, though it is possible it may work the same if Medica uses it. Since Goku is weakened, can't move, and can't defend himself, Medica can finally hit Goku with Bookmaker, which turns the tides exponentially in Medica's favor. This essentially turns the battle into an equal stats fight. Medica may struggle in fights with characters massively stronger than her, but in an equal stats fight, she becomes a completely different monster entirely. Now, even if Medica only hit Goku with Bookmaker and didn't do anything else, even if she just waited for him to recover and get up and use MUI again, it wouldn't matter, because no matter what Goku does, he is just as strong as Medica. The only thing he has going for him at that point would be that he still has auto-dodge hacks and precognition. From now on, Medica would be able to easily swap hands with Goku, and her attacks would be able to damage him. And before you say that Medica couldn't keep up with Goku, Bookmaker levels off their speed as well so they would be in the same speed. And Medica was capable of swapping hands with 640,000 copies of an opponent that was capable of arguably outspeeding Medica in combat, so Medica would easily be able to keep up with his dodge hacks and precognition. Also, not to mention that while Goku won't gain any power benefits from his transformations, Medica would get boosts for her modes. So even if Medica did struggle with this debuffed Goku, she could enter any of her modes to help her. And on top of all that, Goku still has only 2 minutes of stamina before he's crippled again, while Medica has a seemingly limitless supply of stamina and is essentially immortal thanks to all fiction.
But Crimson, what about Zenkais? What about Zenkais, huh? Goku gets stronger mid-fight because he gets a bunch of Zenkais.
As long as Bookmaker is active, Zenkais won't do anything. Bookmaker will keep Goku just as weak as Medica was when she used it, so even if he gets a Zenkai, it won't give him any buff. So now I've displayed how Goku can't really do anything to Medica to keep her down, and with even the briefest window, Medica can turn the fight greatly to her favor, using only all fiction and Bookmaker. However, Medica doesn't have just 2 abilities. In fact, Medica has over 700 abilities to pick from. It's arguable that she can use all of Ajimu's 12 quadrillion plus skills, but that would be more so for bragging rights, since we don't know what a majority of them are. Regardless, she is capable of using over 700 skills. Now I'll be going over some of those other 700 plus skills, so if you weren't convinced that Medica wins yet, you will be. First of all, Medica has an ability called Encounter. Encounter allows Medica to transfer any damage taken to another place, even to the person that dealt it. This is not only limited to physical damage, but mental and emotional damage as well. Not only does this mean that Goku couldn't even damage Medica in the first place, but even if Goku somehow knew how to use something like Genjutsu or some shit, it still wouldn't affect Medica. In fact, you could even say that any damage Goku tries to deal to Medica will only end up damaging himself, since Medica can just send the damage back to Goku. Also, Medica has an ability called Scar Dead. Scar Dead allows Medica to reopen all old wounds on whoever or whatever she wants, all at the same time. If you skinned your knee when you were a kid, got a paper cut, anything, Medica can reopen them all at the same time. This ability is more effective on people the more battles they have been through. The pain of all the wounds reopening at once is usually a one-hit KO, assuming it doesn't kill you straight out. And considering one of the wounds Goku received actually killed him, that being the hole in his chest he got from the special beam cannon during the Raditz fight, this means that if Medica used Scar Dead on Goku, it's GG. Goku's dead. It could also be argued that Medica can use Scar Dead on Goku even if Bookmaker isn't active, since she doesn't have to touch him, she just has to think about it. I won't argue that part too hard because it honestly doesn't really matter. My argument still stands regardless. Medica also has an ability called Five Fingers. Five Fingers allows Medica to manipulate ailments. If she scratches someone with the claws of Five Fingers, she can freely give or cure any ailment. This means that if Medica even scratches Goku with Five Fingers, she can give him any ailment she wants. A high fever, muscle cramps, polio, glaucoma, cancer, a heart attack. With just a single scratch, Medica can straight up give Goku a heart attack and kill him, or any other super serious ailment that gives imminent or instant death. This means that any attack Goku takes from Medica could hinder him for the rest of the fight, or even be his last. Medica also has an ability called Weighted Words. By manipulating the electrical signals in the brain and the body, Medica can control another person's body through commands. In short, with this ability, if Medica tells you to do something, you do it whether you want to or not, and there's nothing you can do about it. This means that even if Goku is still somehow too much for Medica to handle, all Medica has to do is tell him to kneel before her, and he'd be on his hands and knees with no way out of it. Then Medica just has to hit him with one of her other abilities and it's GG. On top of all of this, Medica has a plethora of other abilities to use. A lot of the other abilities she's capable of involve reality warping, whether directly or just because it's fundamentally how they work. Just to give a few examples of some of the stupid abilities she's capable of, she has an ability that forces the opponent to concede their first move, an ability that allows her to withdraw safely, a skill that allows her to avoid miscalculations, a skill that lets her know the answer to any question, a skill that allows her to see the future, a skill that makes her stronger than her opponent, a skill that prevents her from making mistakes, a skill that allows her to manipulate time, a skill that lets her distort space, a skill that lets her surpass dimensions, a skill that lets her steal the opponent's experience or growth, a skill that lets her turn the opponent back to how they were at their weakest, like when Goku was a baby, a skill that makes it so whatever she says happens, a skill that allows her to negate a predestined fate, a skill that allows her to rig the chances of a fight in her favor, a skill that allows her to erase her weaknesses, a skill that allows her to give weaknesses to others, a skill that kills the opponent if they see her, a skill that makes her legitimately immortal, a skill that allows her to win against someone much stronger than her, a skill that allows her to continue fighting even if she dies, a skill that allows her to always win, a skill that allows her to control her fate, and a skill that forbids her opponent from using abilities. There are plenty more, 700 plus to be exact, that I could list off here, but I think I said enough to get my point across. Alright, I've gone over a few abilities that Medica has access to. If somehow you are still on the fence on if Medica could beat MUI Goku, then pay attention, because I saved the best for last. This is by far Medica's most powerful and broken ability she has access to. Medica's own personal ability is called The End. I talk more about The End in my previous Medica videos, but to put it simply, if Medica sees or hears about an ability, she can perform it better than its creator can, regardless of what it is. That means that any ability Goku uses, Medica will be able to use better than he can. It also means that from the very beginning of the fight, Medica will be able to use Ki as well as Mastered Ultra Instinct. If Goku uses the Spirit Bomb, the Kaioken, the Kamehameha, the Dragon Fist, etc., Medica will be able to use it for the rest of the fight, and she'll be able to use it better than Goku can. In fact, she would not only be better at using MUI than Goku, but she might also theoretically not be as affected by the limit-breaking power as Goku was, if she's affected at all. This might mean that Medica wouldn't be subject to the same crippling effects of MUI as Goku. But even if she is affected, that argument doesn't matter, because she can instantly heal herself with All Fiction and immediately re-enter MUI. So if there was any doubt that Medica could beat Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, I hope that by now they've all been shattered. MUI Goku is far stronger and faster, but he has shit stamina and a fatal weakness. Medica has a plethora of abilities in her arsenal that Goku simply can't deal with. She's essentially immortal and has infinite stamina thanks to All Fiction, and Bookmaker can instantly close the gap and turn the fight in Medica's favor. She has a huge amount of overpowered abilities that allow her to essentially manipulate reality to her favor, and on top of all of that, any ability that Goku uses, Medica can use it better than he can. Hopefully I've gone over this well enough and it's easy enough for everybody to understand. I've made all my points that I need in order to prove that Medica beats Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, so I think I'll just end the video here before I go rambling about stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to share your opinions on this matchup in the comments. I was asked about Medica vs Goku in the past, and I didn't feel like I needed to make a video on it. However, as I learned more about Medica, I realized that I was completely wrong about my previous conclusions. Not only could Goku not defeat Medica, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku couldn't even defeat Medica. I hope this video sheds some light on things and opened a few minds to just how stupid powerful Medica is. The shit that she's capable of is actually insane. I know a lot of people are gonna have negative opinions about this, but I hope that they eventually come around. If you're still here, then thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. If you have any ideas for future video topics, be sure to let me know in the comments section. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more videos similar to this one. I am your goddess, Crimson Reapress, and I'll see you next time.